Have you ever asked yourself, what mark am I gonna leave on this world? That's the question I ask myself every single day. My crazy goal? To become one of the best music producers and win a Grammy. Yeah, sounds impossible, right? But guess what? I'm already halfway there. Oh, and that guy slouched on the couch like some nerd. Yeah, that's me, Zopke. So let me tell you how it all started. Since I was 8, music has been my whole life. I started with guitar lessons, then I moved on to production, basically anything I could get my hands on. But school, that was a total disaster. My parents were losing their mind and things only got harder. Me, I spent most of the time zoning out in class while my teachers kept telling me I'd never make it in music. Like I was gonna listen to them. As a teenager, I started my first rock band. We all dreamed of making it big. We put on these little garage concerts, but people grew up and dreams of being in a band don't always last. Everyone started going on their own way, and before I knew it, I was on my own. But one thing never changed, I knew I had to make it music. Then came high school graduation. No surprise, I wasn't exactly motivated for that stuff, and well, I failed by 11 points. After a long talk with my parents, I decided to retake the exams on my own, so I started working factory jobs to pay for my courses, and once I finally passed, I got into music school. At university, I majored in music and French songwriting, basically a discount version of being a rock star. But honestly, it was amazing. Weekly concerts, vocal training, theater classes. I met incredible people who shared my passion. It was the best time of my life. In those 3 years, I explored every job in music. I was a nightclub DJ, producer, and thanks to all this experience, I landed a deal with a big electronic label. I was beyond excited. But after graduation, things got real. Just like everyone said, I ended up at the employment office. I wanna get hands-on experience in the studio, but getting an internship, a nightmare. I had to nag him non-stop, but eventually I got my first recording studio gig, and the moment ended, I worked every job I could. Pick car, birch car, grocery stores, anything to make money while still making music. That grind lasted 5 years, working all day, producing all night. At some point, my wife and I had a serious talk. We decided to take a huge risk and move to Paris to give my career a real shot. But guys, those first years was a disaster. I'd started Invisalign treatment, and out of nowhere, I developed anxiety attacks, swallowing issues. I was bedridden for months. The worst part, dentists told me nothing was wrong. I was losing my mind. And on top of that, I ended up at the hospital, actually wondering if I wake up the next morning. But no worries, thanks to therapy, I got better. When I was ready to get back to work, and bam, lockdown. I had no idea how I was gonna survive. Then, by some miracle, I found Twitch. I stumbled upon a live stream by a huge producer, the guy behind tracks for Beyoncé, Chainsmokers, and he was hosting beat contests. I knew I had to go for it. I was always the first to submit, and after months of grinding, I finally won. And that changed everything.
Sounds very clear. Okay, so Zopke, you win it.
I started collaborating with them. I got my first placement, including a track with Theophilus London. They played my song at the Kanye West riding camp. I still hope one day you release it. To be honest, they opened a new door, and I realized I'd been sending demos to the wrong country all along. For years, French labels ignored my emails, so I figured why not to try in the US. That's when BMG, one of the biggest American labels, replied. They invited me to a session, and I knew it was my shot. I met my collaborator, and in just 2 sessions, we cranked out 7 tracks. The label was blown away by the quality. And 6 months later, my music was on Amazon, Netflix, movies, and commercials. It was crazy. And what I love the most, you probably hear my tracks without even knowing they're mine. Being behind the scene, letting the music speak for itself, that's the best part. Oh, I haven't even mentioned my obsession with the US, especially Los Angeles. I grew up on Cali music, skate culture, surf videos, and all those documentaries about French artists making it in LA. That city's vibe has always inspired me, and if I had to choose one place to spend the rest of my life, I would be there. So after 3 years of saving up, I finally went. I spent weeks there, looking in my business, and seeing the city I had dreamed about for so long. Beyond the Hollywood glitz, the celebrity culture, there's a whole other side to it. For artists, filmmakers, musicians, it's one of the most inspiring places of the world. Sure, the cost of living is crazy, there are social issues, but the city has a soul. And standing in the BMG's office, looking out at the Hollywood sign, I know this dream wasn't just a fantasy. It was real. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why do you want a Grammy so badly? But for me, a Grammy isn't just a trophy, it's the result of everything. The sleepless night in the studio, the sacrifice, the passion. Today I'm lucky to be working with BMG, and after all these 3 years, I even landed my first meeting with Warner Music friends. The Grammy is the story of my entire life. So, now that you know a little bit more about me, I'm gonna introduce my plan. Find a management company in LA. Right now, I'm handling almost everything. Emails, networking, business, and it's exhausting. I think a management will let me focus on music. I've already got an eye on one agency. The one that reps Zopke, the producer behind The Weeknd, Katy Perry, Kanye West. To be honest, he's one of my favorite music producers. Oh, quickly, if you guys could spy my name under Instagram post, that would be amazing. I'll continue with my French manager, but to be honest, we all know this industry locks up progression. We're fighting against companies that monopolize the industry. Get a sponsor. To be honest, traveling back and forth to LA and booking studio time, it's very expensive. And no, most producers don't drive Lamborghinis. Some months we make a solid paycheck, other months we make zero. So yeah, if any sponsors are interested, let's get in touch. 3. The most important thing, launch my own label and join the Grammy Academy. I know how hard it is to break into the music. Most artists, songwriters, producers are really undervalued by the music industry. And I want to help them. So if you got the talent and you have a huge motivation, send me your project. You've got my link in the bio. Well, at least I have a plan. It's not fantastic, but it's something. So, as you see, I live only for music. But it comes at the price, physically, mentally. Sometimes you feel disconnected from everything, lost in your own obsession. And then one day you look up and realize years have passed. If you dream of making music career, just know it's possible, but also know sacrifices it takes. Nothing comes easy, nothing is given, but that's what makes the dream worth it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the 150,000 subscribers. I never thought I'd get here, so I can't wait to take you even further on this journey. Thank you guys.